Hey, want to skip those ads and get early access and bonus episodes of all Banana for Scale shows? Hop on over to truestory.fm/join and discover all the cool perks that come with being a member of the Banana for Scale family. Coming up, we put a death scene on a bagel. Greetings, Verse Jumpers. I'm not Lester Ryan Clark.
And I'm not Keenan Diaz.
We're another version of them from another universe, and this is another episode of Every Minute of Everything Everywhere All at Once, a show where we attempt to explain, evaluate, enlighten, and elucidate the Academy Award-winning film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, so our minute begins with Raccoon Waymond dying.
And it ends with Raccoon Waymond dead.
Yes, folks, Raccoon Waymond is dead. Long live Raccoon Waymond. But let's get to the top of this minute. Remember, Evelyn had just defeated the Alpha team and is lying exhausted in Alpha Waymond's arms, finally feeling her power and confident that she can defeat Jobu Tupaki. And she got her name right also. Mm-hmm. And Alpha Waymond has just finished saying that her crazy, reckless plan to save her daughter just might work. We open.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if we talked about this last time. But, part of what he says is that it just might work because it's pissed off everyone in the multiverse. So that might be why it works.
Yes.
We didn't talk about it last week, and I thought that was an interesting idea.
Yeah, I like that. The idea that literally everyone in creation, in all of the creations, is mad at her for this.
So she must be doing something right.
Yes. And yeah, today we open with Evelyn's reaction here. Another one of those candid smiles, I think, the kind that these two used to share when they were younger. We talked last week about how these moments of unguarded joy and contentment usually mean that the movie is over or something really bad is about to happen. Let's see which one the Daniels choose to... Socrates, what are you doing here?
Now, wait. Socrates, we had to explain, I guess.
We have to explain, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Socrates' answer to the great, we were looking at one of the great philosophical questions that Socrates posed, and then
it was his students were arguing over which one it was, and one of the students was like, well, it's this thing, and the other student was like, it's this thing, and they turned to their master Socrates, font of knowledge, great Socrates, what do you think? And he's like, how about both?
And they're like, why are we going into all this ancient Greek student debt to hear something like that?
Yeah. Which they still haven't paid off, by the way. It went into the Roman era, and then, it's just. But God help you if somebody proposes ancient Greek student loan forgiveness, because one half of the country will be so mad about that because they didn't have that. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, you were going to say something?
No, just it's, well, why not both? What about that? Why didn't I think of that? So, but the Daniels are the masters of why not both, and let's make it both work in surprising ways. Yeah.
But yeah, Evelyn smiles, but then almost immediately, Alpha Waymond begins to cough, even as we're still on the shot of Evelyn. And you see Evelyn's face change to concern. And then we cut to Waymond as he continues to cough and struggle to breathe. And he's falling over. And we've done a complete switcheroo, folks, because now he is lying in Evelyn's arms. And she's like, what? And then we cut to the Alphaverse. And I like this because it's both a surprise and not a surprise. We have seen Jobu in her amoeba outfit standing in the road in the path of the Winnebago. This happened in minute 65. It is now minute 84. That's 19 minutes ago, 19 weeks ago. That was the end of last year on our show. So yeah, of course, for us, it seems like a long time ago. But even in the movie, like especially a movie like this that's just going at a breakneck pace, 20 minutes ago is forever. Right? So that's before the Raccoonie explanation.
Right.
That's before Ave Maria. That's before Opera Evelyn, Pizza Evelyn, before the secret room, before she swallows the frog, before the butt plug fight with the Lee brothers, before Chad. What I'm saying is, even if you're watching this at normal speed in one sitting, we have completely forgotten about that moment. Our characters have grown since that moment. So much has happened. But then I love how before we even see Amoeba Jobu open the door in this next shot, we remember, oh yeah, R.I.P. those guys, right? Because we've been saying R.I.P. Peter and R.I.P. Audrey for the longest time, and we just never thought about the fact that Alpha Waymond's also there in the same Winnebago, right? And that's when he would also die.
Yeah, because that shot is just her in the road and then their reaction, and then we cut, and we just assume that we're never going to see them again. I do. Like, they are just dead. They are just completely gone. And we don't really think that we have a reason to go back to this wreckage.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in the wreckage of the Winnebago. It's tilted sideways. You can see Audrey and Peter.
Hey, Audrey and Peter.
What'd you guys do? Oh. Yeah. All right, Peter and Audrey. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, they're dead in the foreground.
And they are holding hands in death, which is very nice and sweet.
I didn't even see that.
Yes, I don't know if we know what their relationship is, or they like together. I think we sort of assume that they're just kind of co-workers in the other ones. But yeah, so these actors in the Daniels have kind of come up with this. I mean, it's possible that as they know that they're dying, they still reach out to each other. But yeah, there's something really sweet and sickening about the ending of it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. For real, R.I.P. Well, no, not for real. I mean, Jeez. But yeah. We got smoke rising from the electronics, and as we move in, we see Alpha Waymond sit up. I never noticed this before, but he's holding Evelyn's urn.
Yeah, I never noticed that either.
Yeah, I like that detail. Like he knows what's coming, and he wants to be close to her in the end, right? We got Peter and Audrey, and they're holding each other, but who's Alpha Waymond going to hold, right?
Oh, that's really interesting. I think also if the Winnebago is going to be flipped on its side, like he might just like, oh gosh, the one thing I need to do is to make sure this urn doesn't break, he's been transporting it everywhere. Like, I don't know. I think about if there were a fire, I know what sentimental thing I'd pull out of my house. I don't know if I actually would. I'd probably just freak out and let everything burn. But I know exactly where it is my teddy bear from when I was in preschool that I still have. And I know exactly where that is, and I would go get it. So maybe somewhere in the back of his mind, he's been like, okay, like, be sure. I hope this lid is actually taped on or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's delicate.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, okay, so it might not even have been like, he might not even know that the end is near. He just needed to, save.
Yeah, like protect this.
Yeah.
I just saw a Reddit story on Smosh just yesterday about an urn. Because I didn't know that, I never placed that he's holding the urn either until we're looking at this way. And now we know the urn has like Evelyn's birthday and death day on it,
Yeah.
But this Smosh Reddit story about a husband. So the husband writes into Am I the Asshole on Reddit. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah. AITAH.
Right. Right. And they're like, hey, like, we have this disagreement on my personal life. Like, tell me what you think here. And so this guy, they were moving houses, if I remember correctly. And so, he drove his car across town with a bunch of little stuff in it, and it was his wife's mother's ashes from when she was, 16 or whatever. She lost her mother, and then he got cut off in traffic, and the urn spilled. And the question is like, well, why isn't the urn like in a box by itself?
Yeah.
Like, why have you done any of that work? Why haven't you taped it or anything like that? Yeah. And then so he panics and goes to the gas station and vacuums up the ashes, and then replaces the ashes with dirt from the side of the road. And then the wife catches him, of course, because she lives at the urn and is like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I'm very familiar with the way this urn.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fine, you got me. And now he's like, am I the asshole? And everyone's like, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
100%.
100%.
Oh my God. No. You're transporting like, okay, this guy, never met him, but
but he's several levels of asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some assumptions. I'm gonna say that he probably had. I'm gonna say that after that incident at the, what did you say, the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, he goes to the gas station. Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna say he probably, like, during that stop, he probably also bought like a Big Gulp or something like that. And he took more care with that Big Gulp. Like, he put it in the cup holder. He made sure it had a little like fastenable lid and and everything like that.
That's right.
Like, do you see, like, this is the type of guy who would like or there probably was like already food in his car, like a nice little cup or a little thing of nachos or whatever, right? And that is the thing. Like, he's like, I got to make sure this doesn't spill.
Yeah. So there's the allowing it to spill in the first place. The we're gonna vacuum it up. rather than trying to put it back in the urn, even a little bit.
Well, even if, at first when you said that, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of smart. You're going to vacuum it up with a clean, empty vacuum cleaner.
That is what you probably should do, right? Go buy a new clean, empty vacuum cleaner, right?
Yeah, and then reverse vacuum. I don't know what the word is, but like,
just empty it out. Yeah. Then you would save like 75% of it, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. He's an asshole for not calling his wife and saying, "Hey, this happened. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to fix this." Right? What do you think I should do? What would you do here? He's an asshole for lying to her about it,
right?
Just hoping,
trying to pass it off,
to pass it off, and an asshole for saying like, "Well, dirt from the side of the road is the same as your mom."
Yeah.
And then finally, which he didn't mention, so then the wife was like, "What is this?" And then, of course, like most of the people who write into Reddit, he's like, "You're overreacting."
Yeah, and then, like the cherry on top, like the cherry on top of this shit cake is him going to Reddit, thinking, like, because he obviously doesn't think that he's the asshole. So so his intent is to get onto Reddit and to shame his wife for being angry about her dead mother.
Right.
Yeah.
And then probably if he gets enough people saying that he's right, then show it to her.
Then show it to her, yeah, and embarrass her.
You're being emotional.
Yeah. Wow. I kind of want to find that post and add my little voice to the pylon. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. So anyways, potentially Alpha Waymond, wants to, hey, I know I'm going to die. I'm going to like do the brave samurai thing and like face death in the eye. But while I do it, I want to have my wife with me. That's nice. Or he's like, oh, this thing is going to shit. Let me make sure that I have this one thing that I need.
That's
this is more important
than
any of the other equipment here or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I just realized like that. I mean, because that says something, like, because you were saying like, oh, if it was a fire, right? Like you would running in to save ashes in a fire. But like to anybody else, to that guy with the nachos and the big gulp, that would seem ridiculous.
Right.
But
ridiculous. What are you talking about?
But we know that it's not.
Right.
Wow. But yeah.
So he's going to have his death. So I still like what you're saying about like he knows it's coming and he's going to hold on to her, and that recalls like some of the most beautiful death scenes in movies. Like I know this is kind of spoilery, I suppose, but in Titanic, the one where we cut to people as the ship is filming up, and there's an old couple who've gone back to their cabin and they're spooning in bed together.
Yeah,
it's like oh geez, and apparently that was those characters were cut down in the cut. They had like a whole thread in like Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3.
Oh,
and it was already a long movie, and then they were trimming it down, and then they're like, well, that image though, like we don't need to even really see much of these characters to be like, oh, geez, yeah.
That's almost even more impactful is that because you don't get to see the rest of their lives, but you know that like it was so meaningful that they, it's like, no, we're gonna spend the last moments in bed, like like this is us going to sleep. Oh,
right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Spoilers for the Titanic.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Do you think? Because the other one I'm thinking of is in Deep Impact, which is not as big of a hit.
It's not as big of an impact, no.
Deep Impact?
As I'm here casually joking, I realize, oh, no, wait, no, I don't. Is it about a meteor?
It is about a meteor that's coming to blow up the world, yeah. So, I don't know. This is tough because we're going to talk about death scenes for a couple minutes. Like this minute and next week and everything. But like, it's hard. But yeah. So anyways, I guess I won't say who, but like, it's on the poster in Deep Impact as the meteor is coming, or like the meteor is hit into the ocean and it causes a giant tsunami, and there are two people who go down to the beach to, well, one person goes down there to die alone, and then someone else shows up to like, be with them. And it's very touching.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like that. That's sad. I mean, wow. Yep. Death in movies, folks. It's a thing. I don't know how I was going to fit. Like, yeah, we know it's a thing. Lester.
Yeah. Also, explosions in movies. And ninja stars.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Oh yeah. Randy Newman sometimes. Sometimes just his music. But yeah. So Waymond's he's kind of sitting up. The Winnebago's tilted sideways. And beyond him, the tilted back door of the Winnebago opens up, and I love how the light floods in. Usually that's a good thing, right? Light equals good, but it feels so menacing here. We cut to a close-up of the doorway. Everything's bathed in this light, with the smoke swirling around, and we can now just make out this green silhouette. Not really a silhouette, but she's backlit by the outside light, and that's enough for us to remember that weird amoeba outfit, which we've only seen her in for a split second. I think 2 times.
Right, each time very, very briefly.
Each time really quickly. The second time, I think, was in the road. The first time was when Waymond is explaining who she is, and she's kind of switching between costumes.
Yeah. Yeah. We see her walking through this Mad Max world of her, and she's clearly different.
Yeah. So the movie is trusting us to remember this outfit, which, I mean, how can we not? And even now, as we're seeing it close up, we're still not getting a great look at it because of the smoke and the light. But we can see that she's got these spikes all over her, and Rosie O'Donnell's cush balls at the end of the spikes. These feathery green puffballs. And the pattern for all of it is this. It's green with tiger stripes, like a green tiger.
Yeah. These spikes are kind of like Madonna cone bra things, but they're more limp. They're more organic looking. Yeah.
Which I guess that's why amoeba outfit.
Right, and she has a headband like these faux sunglasses. They're big, puffy sunglass things, but probably she couldn't actually see through them. So they're more just an accessory that are meant to be on her forehead.
Yeah. Now that
we can't really see it very well, so it's more like vibes. It's more like the vibe of her coming in to kill him.
a lot of her is vibes. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it also looks very Seussian. Right? Jobu Tupaki plays professional hockey. Right? And like you say, she's got these goggles or sunglasses sort of pushed up on her forehead, like a headband. And they also can look almost like another set of eyes.
Right.
Right? Also making her look like some sort of bug. But they're circles, and we got more circles. She's got these great dangly earrings. I love this outfit. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love it. And another thing that I really like about it is how weird and obviously this would fit in at something like the Met Gala or something where you're just trying to do these outrageous costumes, or RuPaul's Drag Race,
Right.
It's just so strange, and it's not like we look at it and say oh, that has some function in the future world or something.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not like a Power Rangers outfit or a Logan's Run outfit. She comes from a world where you need these spiky things. They're your keys to get in your house or something like that.
Right.
They clearly are fashion for fashion's sake. And then we cut to Waymond, who is looking just terrified of her. Right.
Yeah.
So by its very nature, the outfit here is playful, but then, the way that we can contextualize it to make it look like this is terrifying. It's very scary.
Yeah. Love it. She opens the door, and I love how she sort of staggers up to it, implying that whatever she did to stop the Winnebago took a lot out of her. Right? She might have just let him run straight into her.
Yeah,
like she briefly went into a universe where she's a big rock. Right? No, that's ridiculous. A rock? Come on, mister. But yeah, I like the stagger to the door. But even as she's staggering, she's also swaggering. It's a swagger stagger. We're back to Seuss again. Because even though she's winded, she's won this particular battle, and now she's gloating over her prey. All right. And I forgot to mention, when Jobu appears, the music changes a little. It's been this familiar theme of violin strings that we've been hearing, sort of heralding a transition, right? This is where I think we've heard it before. Speaking of heralding, right? I said before that voices always herald the supernatural, but it's always been in our world. It's the supernatural breaking in, right? When Waymond gets the fanny pack powers, when Evelyn says "I love you" to Deirdre, and now we got a voice, a single voice, not a choir, but a single voice singing low and smoky and sad, announcing the arrival of Jobu. And maybe because it's only one voice here, it makes me think without saying it that it's her voice. Like they're having it both ways. Like no, this is just part of the music, but also it's also the end of the song that she's been singing, and it's being sung as if it's the final refrain of a part that we've heard before. Does that make sense? Like how in a song they kind of like repeat something over and over, like at the end of every verse, and then the final time they do it, and it's like this long, drawn-out version to end the song. That's what it feels like, the last line of a song that we've heard before.
Yeah, and it's somewhere, I don't know, it feels, I'm probably wrong about it, but it feels like it's it's androgynous sounding, so I can't tell if it's a man or a woman, and so it's like maybe a low alto or a high tenor or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like a lullaby, like the way you would use a lullaby in a horror movie, you know, where it feels familiar enough, like you're saying, like, hey, we've been riffing on this, and now let's use this, like, as if we've converted it to a minor key or something to make it scary, but it had been before, like, this positive thing.
Yeah.
And like the lullaby, you kind of get the lullaby vibes that I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's like, here's the daughter coming to kill the father, so we like are reversing the song that the father would have sung to the daughter. You know?
Yeah.
But all of that's just implied. None of that is actually textual.
Right. Yeah. No, I love it. And weird because, like, we both picked up on the vibe of like, oh, we've heard this tune before, but I don't think we have.
I don't think so. No,
but just I don't know, the way that it's presented, it feels like a callback to something we've never had.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
And we've never seen Alpha Waymond and Jobu like in a scene or anything. We've seen Alpha Waymond talk about a scene between Alpha Evelyn and Alpha Jobu. But so I guess that makes sense. This, as we were talking about it, this scene has to feel like the culmination of these characters' storyline, but we haven't seen any of their storyline yet.
Right, like a callback to maybe when they were last together or something like that.
Right.
Like so maybe that refrain means something to them, but not to us. But like we can only wonder.
Right. So I guess that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about any of that till you were mentioning it, but we have all of these other mini parodies of genres and like the kung fu universe and the and the opera singer universe and all of that. So it would make sense that here what the Daniels are able to do is to go in by mimicking genre, by mimicking other films, and then like give us the emotional punch of it. So I think that's what they're doing here, even though it's not as explicitly like, this is a horror movie or this is a a Mad Max movie or anything like that.
Right. So like if we had watched just this movie, like this version all the way through, like we would be like, oh, there's that note again. There's that like sting. Yeah.
Like in Once Upon a Time in the West, where we have this this musical sting that's happening throughout the entire movie, and we gradually see like the main character's flashbacks, and we see more of what happened to him. And he's called Harmonica, and then we see why he's called Harmonica in the flashbacks. It's because he was like forced to let somebody die, and while he was the bad guys put a harmonica in his mouth like while he was doing it. So like this tune that we've been hearing turns out to be like this traumatic thing that he was doing, like him breathing as he's forced to like watch his family die. But and then we're like, oh gosh, that's awful. We've been hearing this this traumatic thing the entire time. And then when he's confronting the bad guy at the end, then we start to retake that that little sting, the harmonica sting, and use it as like this triumphal thing as he's killing the bad guy and getting his revenge.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That's Ennio Morricone. Very good.
There you go, guys. Hodor. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lester, everybody knows.
Well, I don't know. Like I think I've talked before about how I did not feel obligated. I don't feel obligated to catch up on premium TV because there's just too much of it. So when there's like a meme that comes out, I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I look it up, like, oh, it's Game of Thrones spoilers, and I'm like, oh well. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to catch up on 8 years of Game of Thrones anytime soon, so that's fine.
The more people tell me to watch a thing, the less I will, the less inclined I am to watch it. You know? Yeah. Which is silly because then I'll catch something that is kind of like, like niche and out of the way, and then I'll just bother everybody else about it.
Sure. Yeah,
it's like, you gotta watch this. It's so, until like I find like the fan base, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore.
I've been trying to impress you guys.
Yeah. Well, no. It like oh, there's a fan base. I'm not the only one. Oh, well.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to be like, oh, these are misogynists or nerdy or awful fan bases. Like,
oh well, I did not say that.
Yeah, but like watching a 2-hour or even a 3-hour movie, I'll avoid spoilers for that. But like avoiding spoilers to watch 72 hours of something like it's not realistic. So
no.
TV spoilers are fine with me.
Yeah. Spoil all the TV you want. But yeah, so we got Waymond looking up at Jobu, and you can just see the lid of the urn in this shot. It's a scary moment. It's also a sad moment. He's got blood coming out of his mouth, and he's looking up at Jobu, at his daughter, as he holds his wife's ashes. And before we cut, we hear him from our world, and he says, "I wish I could be there to see you finish this." And we cut as he's saying that line. We see him looking up at our Evelyn, and then we cut to her, and she's confused, scared. She says, "What do you mean you don't see me finish?" She tries to laugh it off. I love how she tries to be, the tough, no bullshit. Like, I'm gonna, call out my husband for saying something stupid, like I always do.
Right.
But in this moment, that facade is crumbling, and we see fear, we see vulnerability. This got me thinking about how she would react to losing her Waymond in her world, right? Like there would be that denial at first, like we saw with the divorce papers, right? Long ago. Like that's how she used to respond to, these emotional moments. And maybe this is the last time she responds in this way. Let's keep an eye out, right? Maybe this is also the old Evelyn dying. Right? Like the old Evelyn with, I'm going to put up all my walls and I'm going to try to laugh this off and say, oh, my husband's just being stupid,
Right.
Yeah.
And, she has never really thought about her husband dying in our world.
Right.
Which is understandable. I mean, that makes sense why we wouldn't want to do that. Right. But she's never, ever thought of it. So she'll be confronted with that. The only other inkling we have about death is the implied death of her mother, which we don't have a lot of screen time here on. And then the idea that that Gong Gong will die, right? Where Joy makes a joke at the beginning.
That one little joke,
Yeah, about Gong Gong dying. And it stops her in her tracks. And it is partially, just because of the sass that the daughter's giving. Like, that's inappropriate. But I think also that's like clearly just not anything that she wants to deal with or think about.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's an out of sight, out of mind. I'm not going to think about, like, that doesn't exist. Like nobody's going to die. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And clearly, I mean, Gong Gong is quite old and enfeebled, and he has to be fed and he has to be taken everywhere, and he's going to live in that room, and he's probably going to pass away in that room. But she, she isn't really thinking about the reality of that situation at all.
She doesn't have time to think about that. She's got to do this and this and this.
Right. You just have to make the party for him. Yeah. Exactly. So she probably isn't somebody who has thought about this, which is one of the things that's key to, like, Taoism is thinking about death all the time. Right. And, like, thinking about that, that's the way it is. Like, old people die and young people come up, and you too will die, and these things shall pass. And that just, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring again, like we were talking about, like that is inherent to the kind of philosophy that, she should be engaged in,
Yeah. But yeah, I think, like a lot of people, she's kind of walking around in denial of death, of endings, of things like that. And I mean, that could be, like feeding the fire of the kind of like the ADHD thing of it's like, well, thank God for ADHD. I have all these like other distractions to keep me from thinking about like the real big, deep, horrible things, Yeah.
Right. So she can't even confront them and say, well, they're not horrible, right?
Yeah.
Like that your husband might die before you. It's not the end of the world. This has happened before, and it will happen again.
Yeah.
Which, again, is easier said than done, but I'm just saying, like, that's
of course.
That's the philosophy that that she, quote unquote, should be steeped in, that by the end of the film she will be steeped in.
Yeah. So here we are, folks, like two podcasters talking about like how you should view death. But meanwhile, like neither of us is thinking about it too hard because we got this podcast to do. It's just like there's no time,
Well, yeah, I'm not a Taoist. Sorry.
Yeah.
but that's the idea there in Taoism is I guess all the religions are like that. Like, all the religions have some wisdom you're supposed to get from the passing of time and the passing of death.
Yeah. All religions are like, hey, don't worry about that. It's no big deal.
Right, Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, you eat the. And when we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelopes eat the grass, and then we eat the antelopes. Yeah, so shut up about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Alpha Waymond is going to be eaten by lions, and that's fine.
That's it.
That's it. Don't worry about it.
Well, you want us to dress and drag and do the hula?
Oh!
Oh, boy. Anyway. But no, I like the idea that even as Alpha Waymond is like literally physically dying, we have like the old Evelyn dying away, because this is hopefully, I mean, if I if this follows through as we watch, her ideas about death are going to be changing pretty
Absolutely.
soon. Yeah. But yeah, we cut back to Waymond as he says, "I'm grateful that chance was kind enough to let us have these last few moments together." Oh, God. Also, apparently, according to the Daniels, this speech or this line from Waymond is inspired by a letter from Ann Druyan to Carl Sagan, talking about like how like the gods of chance, were kind enough to let them like meet each other and have their life together and everything.
Okay, that's really interesting. I only know a little bit about them, but they had kind of a back and forth rocky-ish relationship as they were working together on things, and then he became kind of the star and. Not literally, I guess, because they are cosmologists.
The burning ball of gas.
Clear, right?
Burning billions of miles away. Yeah, I was unfamiliar, but listening to the Daniels talk about them, so I looked them up. So Ann Druyan and Carl Sagan, right? They shared this professional and personal relationship. This is what Google is telling me. Evolving from a 3-year friendship into a marriage in 1981 that lasted until his death in 1996. Right. They collaborated on major projects like the Voyager Golden Record and Cosmos, with the romance famously beginning during a phone call about the Voyager project in 1977. Yeah, together they co-wrote the seminal PBS series Cosmos, also the book Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, and the story for the movie Contact. What?
Right.
Have you seen Contact? That's all I know.
I like Contact.
No. I'm just referencing the South Park thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he becomes the as the face of the operation, which happened a lot to husband and wife scientists, right? Like basically everybody but the Curies has been like, I'm the man, so I guess it's sometimes it is there's resentment there. Sometimes it's just like, hey, that's just what it is. Like they won't listen to me. Like I can't, if I'm the woman, I can't be on the TV show as the star of Cosmos, even though we're working on it together. So that happens quite a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, even me, like I had heard of Carl Sagan, I had not heard of Ann Druyan. Yeah.
Right.
But no, the Daniels were big science nerds, and they were glad they could like squeeze this little bit in there.
Yeah. So then, what do you think about this? Because he says chance has brought us together.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying like the universe or fate or anything like that, or God.
I mean, like whenever somebody says chance or fate, I always think of them as the same thing. Even though like they're explicitly not. They're like the opposite, right? Like oh, fate has brought us together. Chance has brought us together. Like those are two like fate is like the least chanciest thing there can possibly be.
Right. Fate means there's design to it, right? Like, it's going to a specific place.
But I don't know, like it just kind of like those two words, whenever they're used in a sentence like this, they just kind of wash over me. It's like, oh, you could swap them out,
I think it's really important here that he says chance rather than fate, because fate, which happens in a lot of hero stories that talk about your fate, your destiny, etc. But it implies that you don't really have a choice, and chance implies more of free will, and she's going to have to, free will her way out of this wet paper bag here. That is the entire movie,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so better than God or destiny or the universe. So we have chance instead.
Yeah.
In the 2017 script, where this is Alpha Winona, the wife dying in Jackie Chan's arms. She says, whatever happens, I'm grateful that random chance was so kind as to give us these last moments together. So we've deleted that word random.
Random, yeah.
Yeah, but chance sort of implies random, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like that's the one thing kind of like separating it from being indistinguishable from like fate or God or whatever.
Right.
Or destiny.
Yeah, and the universe is crazy. So I know you have faith and I don't know what that means for you in terms of like your cosmology. Hang
on. Let me bring my buddy over here. His name is Socrates. No, I didn't think I was going to get into
I didn't
this
mean
conversation.
To bring you up on the spot. I was just saying.
No, I'm all. Oh gosh, now I have to preface. Like I 100% believe in evolution, folks. That like all of that stuff. Like I'm kind of the mind because like a priest said this to the congregation, very, very when I was very young. But he finished reading about the flood story, and he turns to the congregation. He's like, "You know, all this is made up, right?" And I loved, it's like everybody's like, but me, I was like, wow, like, and just him explaining, it's like, yeah, every culture has a mythology. Every religion has like, this line between mythology and like, this is the stuff that we believe. And this part of, our story is mythology, right? And I mean, we just finished, our show on The Exorcist and, talking about the Jesuits who were, what were they, like a division of Catholic priests who were like all into science and
right. Founding universities and funding exploration in the jungle, right?
Yeah, yeah. And what was it? Dimmy's boss, what was his name?
Tom Birmingham,
yeah. Talking about, because Dimmy says like, oh, I have doubts. And he's like, well, what thinking man doesn't, right? I don't know how, but like somehow I am able to, to fit those two realities in my head. And I've said before, it's just like, well, if God can do anything, then he can also not exist for folks. And that's fine, right? And I don't think he cares what religion you're practicing or what, because if we are to go with the whole idea that, he put you here for a reason and everything happens for a reason, then, then you're an atheist for a reason. You're a Muslim for a reason. You're a Christian for a reason, whatever, right? Like that's between you and whatever. But yeah, now that we've come to this line that he's talking about, like chance has let us do this. In my mind, that's kind of the same thing. And that's why I said like maybe that's like a better way of saying like those words just kind of like, wash over me when I hear them. Fate, chance, destiny, right? God, the universe, I kind of, all of us are wrong. Nobody has the answer, right? All of us, like nobody is 100% right.
Except me.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously. That's why I'm doing the show with you. And at the same time, everybody's right, right? Like everybody is 100% right. Everybody's 100% wrong. It's like, what was it? I have a similar ideology to Pete Holmes. Do you know that stand-up comedian?
I know him. I don't know his philosophy on this.
He talks about it in a very interesting way. He says, "Oh, I wish I could get the hang on. I'm going to get the exact quote because I don't want to mess this up." Yeah, he starts out by saying, God is not an old man in the sky. He says, God is the name of the blanket we put over the mystery to give it shape. That sums up kind of my ideology of it. So if you want to say chance, if you want to say fate, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe, because one thing I will say, like the idea of an old guy in a white robe with a long beard up there, moving little clay figures around like on a like 3D map model, like that's not, that's not it, right? So
and he hasn't changed clothes since 2000 BC,
right? Yeah,
and that's perfect. He would never get a belt.
Why would I?
Or a wristwatch.
Yeah. As soon as you get a belt, you got to watch your waistline. It's like
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I didn't mean to backtrack and over-explain and, oh, God, like, I guess now I learned something about myself. It's like asking me about God, and I'm like, I don't have a collar on my shirt right now, but, like, I would be, like, I was like, oh,
But so the reason I'm bringing this up,
yes,
she's talking about chance, and, like, there is something, beautiful that is akin to the idea of miracles if you think about it in mathematical terms. And I'm not really good at math, but the idea, like, let's say there's the Big Bang and then our solar system is formed and it is formed and left alone by other things could have come and destroyed our solar system in the early days and not let the sun form. And if enough stuff had gone into Jupiter, it would have become its own star and we would never form. And then, the Earth was forming and, a meteor hit the Earth probably and then knocked the moon out. This idea? Yeah. And like if that hadn't happened, then we wouldn't have tide pools on Earth. And if we didn't have tide pools, life wouldn't have developed in the same way. Plus, like we just had to have oxygen in the right measures, and carbon dioxide in the right measures. And and there apparently was like a near extinction of all life where we had a global warming event and all the bacteria and the all the single cell organisms almost died off, but then they didn't. And what if that hadn't happened? Yada yada yada. All the way to, people are born. And then even if we just like bring it to the way that we think about people, like something about your soulmate being around your age and within 50 miles of where you were born, and speaking the same language, and that's also random.
And meeting you.
And meeting
like
you,
all
and,
of that, yeah,
and liking you, and then like the psychological theories that they have about like perception and why we like fall in love with people, which have a lot to do with things that we're not aware of apparently, like scent. Have you seen that? Like people's scents have a lot to do with like genetic diversity, and there's some correlation between like in blind not taste tests, in blind scent tests, like where they're like, here's a sweat rag from this person, and they've had people like smell them, and the one that they're most attracted to happens to be the one that's most genetically diverse from them, so they're not like inbreeding and stuff like that, like all this stuff that's against our control, like that we have no idea what that's about, and then everything lines up where we're in about the same social class with each other. It's all all that randomness there, and it's so unlikely that you would meet these people that it is akin to a miracle. It's akin to the hand of God going down and saying like this is lovely. You should be together.
I mean, I'm going to be blasphemous here, but I feel
none of that happened, right?
No, the story of how it probably actually happened is more miraculous than than any of these religious stories. Let there be light, and made humans out of clay and all that stuff and whatever. Like the Big Bang in and of itself, I know that was like proposed as a joke by who was it?
I don't remember, but that phrase, that's supposed to be fun of how stupid it would be, right?
But then like as we study it further, we figure out that may be closer to what actually happened,
right?
And just everything that you were saying, like all of the little random things kind of just falling into place, and the luck of us having just the right composition of materials and gases and solids and liquids to support life, and then that life enduring and evolving over millions and millions of years, and then I feel like religious people are missing a lot of miracles that we don't think are miracles.
Right.
And then we got to like manufacture miracles, like it maybe says something about us and how we're missing the ones that are actually all around us, No.
Yeah, so I don't think this is too much of a tangent, because that's what this minute is about. And then like a lot of the then you're adding on top of this like the multiversal idea, which might not be scientific, etc. Right? So like Alpha Waymond and this Evelyn. So he's not talking about like Evelyns in general and Waymonds in general. He's talking about this Alpha Waymond got to spend these few hours with this Evelyn.
Right.
And that has been beautiful and tragic, and it only happens because the other Evelyn was murdered, and it only happens because this Evelyn is the worst possible version of herself, like all of that stuff, which is random and beautiful.
Yeah. No, I love the it's too big for me to put into words, but like no, it is that kind of like, it's in the Venn diagram of, and I guess we're bringing it all the way back around, but like chance and fate, and just the idea. Somebody said this when they were talking about like the possibility of other life in the universe, right? And they said there's two possibilities. We are either completely alone, meaning Earth, like we are either completely alone in the infinite universe, or we're not. And both of those possibilities are terrifying.
Yeah.
Right. And just the idea, like if that is, like, let's go with the second one, that we are complete, like that there is no other planet, there is no other rock floating in the blackness of space that can support life or has supported life at any point. Like it is just us in this blink in the middle of infinity from beginning to end, and there's nothing else out there. Right. That is, it makes you, I think that makes you make religion, because you're like, well, we must be special, because our human mind without religion cannot fathom the idea that this was a blip, a bunch of ones and zeros. The coin landed on tails, and there you go, boom, life, and it's gonna be around for a little bit. Earth is gonna host life for a little bit, and eventually it's gonna burn out, and it's like, but was there other life on other? Nope. There's nothing. There never was. There never will be again. Like that idea is just that's too big for a human brain.
Yeah, that might be true. Like, and it might be. It doesn't necessarily even have to be like, because when you think about infinity, you're like, oh, well, of course, there's got to be some other thing there. But like, for all intents and purposes, we might be the only life that we are within reach of to communicate with. If it is infinity, there might be some other life out there that like we would never ever be able to send out signals and meet with each other, et cetera, like before life is extinguished within 1 billion years.
Yeah.
Because it is vast and out there.
It reminds me a little bit of. There's this part in the end of the first Dark Tower book, Stephen King's Dark Tower book, where he catches up with this guy that he's been chasing, this magician, and he's sitting down and this sorcerer is kind of like giving him a breakdown of like what do you think like how far do you think the universe can stretch? Do you think like you'll get to the edge of it and there'll just be a sign that says detour or something like that, or do not pass or dead end, or do you think like you can crack through the shell of the universe and what are you going to find on the other side? Like are you coming out of an egg and then what's beyond that?
Right.
It's unfathomable. Right. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Well, right. I think we can wrap this entire show up. I think we've talked about literally everything. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to this scene.
Yes.
And then one thing I didn't get to say is like, I love how you mentioned that they switched places where he has been cradling Evelyn when she almost passes out from the fight, and now he is switched to being held by her, and it's so quick and effortless that it's hard to even track unless you're watching it shot by shot.
Right.
And basically, he just starts to cough, and then she is like, "Oh, I'm going to be the maternal figure. I'm going to sit up and take care of you." And it's within like 3 seconds, where they totally switch scenes. And I don't think that you really even track it that it's happening.
No. Yeah, I didn't like. I've never noticed it until like watching, for the show. Yeah.
Right. You just sort of assume that no, they're holding each other, but no. She's specifically holding him when he had been holding her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we cut back to Alpha Waymond in the Winnebago, looking up at Jobu, looking up at that light, at God, at fate, chance, but Jobu's shadow falls over him as she bends down. Quick cut, and we see that she's holding up a finger. Again, very like, what is it? What's it called? Birth of Man, Birth of Adam, and then cut back to, and then cut back as that finger comes down on the tip of Waymond's nose.
And as she's doing it, like the Winnebago electronics, which start to flicker on and off, etc. Like because there's magic in the room.
Right. Oh, I love that's such a like. They had it on The Exorcist too. Like it's such a cheap, it's a cheap, corny thing. It's like somebody magic is in the room, so let's have all the lights go.
Yeah,
but I love it. I will eat that at any time. If it doesn't happen in a movie, I'm like, hey, where's the lights flickering around? But also leave it to the Daniels, right? This should be a funny thing, right? Touching his nose. She's literally booping his snoot, right?
Right, like it's super bad.
Yeah, but she's also killing him, and that's the thing that we take from this, not the comical way that she kills him. And we get more voices and this cosmic boom as she does it. I feel like these voices are lamenting or maybe like almost like carrying Waymond away, right?
I like that. And there's multiple voices, like maybe Waymond has joined the chorus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Stephanie Hsu, as she's doing this, it's so interesting because the boop by itself is a funny, silly, weird thing. Again, it's super bad. Where is the first time I was ever, introduced to this idea is, the two boys are sitting there in their sleepover, and they can't quite say I love you, but they love each other, right? As bros, and so they do this boop thing instead, and it's so silly, and it's like, yeah, that's so real, and that becomes part of the culture. And so like we're doing that here, but we have Kiwi Kwan who is looking at it terrified, and then Stephanie Hsu is so serious about it. So it's we don't have the kind of thing earlier where she's Bugs Bunny like delighting in doing this,
right?
As she kills the police officers or anything like that. So like she is like, man, this kind of sucks that I'm doing this. This is like the end of the road for us. Like, everything I've done has led up to this. Both of my parents are going to be dead. I'm going to be an orphan now. But at the same time, she's still doing the silly action with her finger,
right? It which implies that this is so a part of Jobu that like even because it could have gone another way, like you're saying, like the exercise of like, let's make this bad, like
right.
Like it could be like she's leaning in and then all of a sudden the serious music stops and she's like boop,
right? She doesn't say she could say boop, right?
Yeah, and then she actually does something like rips his head off or something like that, right? And it's like it's okay, and then like, but no, this is the thing that kills him. and it's done in this super serious way, but it is also a boop.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, when we see his side of it, it's an even weirder boop than we might think. So, so if you're going to boop my snoot because you love me, right? Which of the knuckles of your index finger would you use for that?
Oh, it would be it would be the very tip of the finger.
Right. So she boops him with the middle knuckle, which is just, again, just odd. I don't know, it's just, I can imagine we've done 3 or 4 of these and this one just messes up and we hit the, we miss time and we hit the middle knuckle and then it's the best version that Kiwi Kwan gives. So that's when we go for it. But there's just something off and weird and again, delightful about it that it's a missed boop. It's not a perfect boop. Nothing is perfect in this multiverse.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now. I wonder if it's intentional. Just because I don't know, it gives me, we're talking about vibes, but like the vibe of Jobu knows she's doing it this way, almost going back to that, religious imagery, like she's blessing him, or it's like a priest laying hands or something like that,
Right.
It's or even I don't know, like fairy godmother bibbidi boppity boop, rather than the the normal booping of the nose, right?
Right.
Or I'm looking at the freeze frame now because she's literally pressing down, flattening his nose.
Yes.
Right? This is, I feel like this is something toddler joy would do to daddy's nose. It's press your nose down like that, right? He's I got your nose, and she's well, I got your nose, or something like that.
Yeah, this could all be, callbacks and references to things that we don't get to see. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like it's all complete and weird and idiosyncratic
to their story, but we're not privy to it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, maybe he's booped her as a father, in this universe.
You've seen Inception, I think.
A long time ago.
Yeah, so they go into Cillian Murphy's dreams, and they create this world where his father is dying, and they're trying to get his PIN number, kind of, I think, if I remember right. Yeah. And then so it's all that, and then so there's a safe next to the dying father, and he puts his PIN number, and they're yeah. And then Cillian Murphy takes out a pinwheel. And we've never heard anything of the pinwheel because it's just something between him and his father, and the pinwheel just makes him sob and sob and sob uncontrollably. And we smartly in that movie, we're not the pinwheel is a symbol of whatever. Right. It's just wow, that's just something he has in the back of his dreams, the back of his mindscape that means everything to him, and we'll never know it.
Right. Yeah.
And he's one of the quote unquote bad guys. So then just takes you out of nowhere, where it's wow, he has this whole life there.
Right. Right. Yeah. Oh, now I want to watch that again. No, Lester, you got to do this podcast. Wake up! Wake up!
Oh, are you still in the dream?
Yeah. You listeners, wake up! It's 2016 before election night. Everything's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
All right. Okay. Let's boop in that snoot. I don't even know what I mean with that. But yeah, like we were saying, leave it to the Daniels, right? We got this funny moment, but it's also this sad moment, right? Touching his nose, right? And we got the voices, maybe carrying, Waymond's spirit away. He goes to join the choir invisible, right? Yeah. And cut back to our world as he tries to rise, tries to lean in for one final kiss. Evelyn leans in, and I misremember this every time, and maybe that's intentional, but if you watch it one way, it looks like they actually kiss.
Right.
But if you watch it another way, it looks like he dies before they're able to.
Right.
And great thing about this movie is that Socrates, what are you popping in right in between these two people about to kiss? Yeah. And not, right? It feels like both of them are true at the same time. What do you think?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I wonder if they did kiss, is that not that it's actually cheating. I just think about test audiences again. Is someone going to be wait a minute, she's kissing the wrong Waymond or something? So, so we get to have it both ways. We're
I thought you meant cheating as in the filmmakers are cheating by. You're talking about cheating.
I'm talking about yeah, I mean that's another. We're already going long on ethics and philosophy today, but yeah, is it cheating to cheat on your husband with the multiversal aspect of him that is better in every way?
Well, geez, Keenan, you keep on getting me into these corners.
You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. He's dead. He died. Don't worry about it. He's dead.
I don't.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's we want to have it both ways. We don't want her to. We don't want to actually have the kiss. And we do want to have the feeling of the kiss, right?
Yeah. I mean, see, now I'm all hung up on this cheating thing. Well, no, let's go back to what Lavender was saying. I might be like terribly misquoting them right now, but wouldn't it not be cheating because he's all the Waymonds and she's all the Evelyns?
Oh, tell it to the judge.
Oh, Your Honor, I have to kiss Waymond. He's like heir to me. He's.
I think you would need our Waymond to say it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because Alpha Waymond's a widower, so he's not tied anymore to anything.
Yeah, Alpha Waymond, what do you do? Am I the asshole for kissing another version of my wife while I in another world hold the ashes of my of the same wife?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't spill her ashes, so I held on to them.
Didn't spill her ashes upon the ground, and the Lord forsook me. Oh God, we're going all over the place here. Jeez,
it's
like those ashes
movie.
in that car.
That's right. No, it's a deep movie. So
yeah, it is.
But no, to your point, yeah, we have both of it's true. Like, he's both coughing up blood into her mouth and kissing her, and neither of those things are actually happening.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, his eyes roll back. He falls back, sort of out of Evelyn's arms, like maybe like suddenly all his weight, he's not holding on to her anymore, so he just falls, right? And yeah, you get this quick shot of Evelyn as she realizes it. She's been understanding what's happening, even when, she was denying it. But now she sees him fall away. And there's just a couple of frames where you see the realization actually hit home. So in this moment, even though her husband isn't dead, we're going to see in a second, spoilers, she now knows what that's going to look like. You know what I mean? Like, wow, now I know what that's going to feel like, right? Alpha Waymond said before that he has seen her die 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, and just carrying that around with him, we sort of forget that. And now our Evelyn is getting a taste of that here. She just saw her husband, her husband, quote unquote husband, quote unquote, die.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it really happened.
And I don't know, I don't know if she knows what's going to happen here. Like, does she know that her Waymond is not dead yet? Or could she be thinking that right now? Like, oh, is this it? Like, are all the Waymonds dead now? Right.
Right.
Does this mean mine is gone too? But like, she's died in other universes. But what was our Evelyn there when those happened? Like, did she do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't think that she does. She has experienced those, right? Because she isn't multiversal. But yeah, I think it's a really good question because like when Alpha Waymond dies here, I think we in the audience feel like all the Waymonds are dead, even for a split second. Right. And again, they're smart enough, and as much as these filmmakers are sometimes very unsubtle, here, and then in the right times they are subtle. Like so, like they let us feel that they don't have.
I think the unsubtleness is by design. I think it's
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have her like shaking him, go Waymond, all the Waymonds are dead, right? But we do experience that for just a split moment, and then we're like, oh God, thank God, he's opening his eyes again. But we know that the other one has died, so it's so very clear. Oh, I don't know. We keep saying that, and then like we hear from our parents or people who are like, I have no idea what's going on in this movie. But yeah, for me, it's very clear. Like we feel like all of them are dead, and then we're relieved when our Waymond comes back.
Yeah, we're relieved, and we're also like, and we're going to talk about it in a second. But like we're in an emotionally comfortable spot enough to kind of like consider Evelyn's reaction to it,
right?
And notice, and it's like, oh, okay, like that's that's how she reacts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So our 2017 script is similar to our 2022 script, just having the genders reversed, the Jackie Chan script.
Right.
So this moment is relatively similar. So Alpha Winona dies, and then regular Winona comes up and has the same conversation. But I want to jump to near the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yes, where we have Alpha Winona come back. So we don't have this in our movie.
Interesting. Okay.
So this is in these various endings here. So I can't really even explain like where we are in the branches here. It's more of an action-y sort of rooftop heist thing. And again, they're trying to put this Jobu's helmet on Jobu to kill her. Right. yeah, I guess that's enough. So Jobu falls to the ground. She's gone. They've killed her in one of these false endings. Jackie turns to Winona. Winona's head goes limp and cocks back up again. It's Alpha Winona. Alpha Winona. It's me, Alpha Winona. But I saw you die. I did die in your universe, but I survived in another because of the multiverse. Jackie, stop it. I don't want to know anymore. Alpha Winona. I'm sorry, but we think her consciousness managed to survive the shock from the device. So now Jackie falls back, exasperated, and dies again. So Alpha Winona comes back in time to see Jackie die. And then that's the last we see of Alpha Winona.
So, but then, like, also so time travel, like, we can't get away from it.
But yeah, so like I see again, like the appeal of in an initial draft of like, hey, that didn't really happen. I'm still alive. And then like pull the rug out from that rug pull and be like, well, it doesn't matter. That's just like one of the multi, branches of reality. So like in theory, there's a version of Alpha Waymond who doesn't die.
Yes.
Because everything is a split binary and every binary choice branches off into another universe, right?
Yeah.
So the original script was like, hey, remember that? Like that's still there. So Alpha Winona's dead, but she's also never really dead. There's versions of her out there, but we don't do that here in the 2022 version. We let Alpha Waymond stay dead.
Yeah. And it's like the implication that there are no other Alpha Waymonds.
Right. It's a feeling of it, right?
Yes. Which I like, of course, and we're going to see in it, we're going to talk about a deleted scene. I was worried. I thought it was coming up, but we're not going to see it for a little bit. But there's going to be a scene where, speaking of that urn, that's going to feature prominently. And it's going to be like another version of Alpha Waymond, which, then we'll have to unpack that. It's like, I was like, oh, okay. So there's like, Alpha Waymond is different from our Waymond, but then there's also like other Alpha Waymonds.
Okay.
You just keep on splitting. It's Chekhov's, Occam's, Schrodinger's razor cat gun.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh my God.
I'm down. I'm already preemptively glad they cut it.
Yeah. You're down and you're up and you're all of the things. Oh my God. Yeah. But no, back to what you were saying about like, I also like how quickly this is answered for us, like Waymond waking up, right? We don't really linger here. Evelyn says, Alpha Waymond? Specifically, she says Alpha Waymond, right? Did you notice that, folks? Not Waymond, right? And then Waymond wakes up rather quickly before she even, finishes saying his name. And we hear, Evelyn's sort of like relieved sigh/laugh. And she says again, she's Alpha Waymond. Cut to Waymond, and he says, what happened? Was I Raccoon Waymond again? Cut back to Evelyn's face, and you see no relief, no, oh, thank God, at least my husband is okay.
Right.
And watching this before, I didn't think much about it, but now I'm like, is this one of those Jobu turning points? Like ironic because she's mourning Alpha Waymond, but seeing him die, seeing him leave her, we're back to divorce again. Is this another thing that turns her to the dark side? Like, oh, nothing matters. We're all going to die. Like he died, but like, so many, I've died. So who cares? Right.
Right.
Like, and is this one of the things like it's like fitting and not fitting because like, she's mourning one of the good guys, but it pushes her closer to, oh, nothing matters. Right.
She loses her goodest boy, right? And that's too bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. This is going to cause her to, follow the dark side a little bit. And I was trying to bring it up, connect it to Luke Skywalker, who doesn't really have this in Star Wars, in the first Star Wars, right? Like
not until near the end when he's actually fighting Vader.
Like in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah,
exactly. So in the first one, he loses Obi-Wan Kenobi at about this percentage into the movie, and it just makes him kind of sad. I mean, mopey, rather than like I'm gonna kill every last person in the Empire, something like that we could, he sees Darth Vader
kill Obi-Wan, who has been like a father to him,
right?
And he's not like, I'm gonna kill Darth Vader,
right? Yes, that is something that so. I'm trying to say, like, this dark side thing, I think, is really key and like, neat and useful. The original Star Wars doesn't have it, which we usually think of, like, that's, like, the prototypical screenplay for all the
screenplays
like the
originator of it.
Afterwards, right? Yeah, but that's more in, like, Return of the Jedi, right? Yeah, but so here, this is her losing the mentor figure who is also this emotional figure in her life. Again, like Luke Skywalker, they've only known each other for a few hours.
Yeah.
but it's this emotional connection that we totally buy. And I think it is like this break in her that, it's much more nihilistic. We don't get nihilistic Luke Skywalker until, the end of the trilogy where we start to think like, well, he could become Darth Vader and he could, kill the Emperor just because he likes killing the Emperor. Yeah.
I mean, we get like hateful, passionate Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, where he's fighting Darth Vader. He cuts off Vader's hand.
Right.
We get nihilistic Luke Skywalker when he's on that planet with the blue milk things.
Oh yeah.
And he's the hermit, and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. Right. That's not how no, that's not him who says that. That's Ke Huy Quan's buddy, Harrison Ford. Yeah.
No, Luke is drinking that raw blue milk, and it turns him crazy.
Right. But yeah, folks, our minute ends as she sort of lets go of him, and he falls the rest of the way into the dirt, and she says, Alpha Waymond is dead.
And in the original, or the 2022 script, we have a scene between not just Evelyn and Waymond, but Evelyn, Waymond, and Joy. So Joy is there. Joy doesn't have any lines during any of this. So I think that's part of the reason why in production there's like, oh, wait, Joy doesn't need to be here.
Yeah.
But then also that means like as Joy is standing there watching this, presumably we would have reaction shots of Joy as Alpha Waymond dies. But then she's going to turn into Jobu, like kind of like basically we cut back to her and she's Jobu now.
Right.
So in our version, she is instead somewhere else.
Yeah.
She's just like hanging around off stage somewhere. And then she turns into Jobu. So just to point out like how little we think about any of that. Like how little we're like, wait a minute, where's Joy? But like intellectually, if we're really trying to destroy the emotional resonance of the movie, we're like, so what is she doing here? Why does she not care that her father is dying here or what have you? Right. But yeah, we just don't think about it. The movie tells us like this is what we should care about, just Evelyn and Waymond, and we don't think about Joy. We don't think about Gong Gong.
Yeah. See how like expertly movies guide our perception of reality. Not just this movie, which is all about, like different realities and everything like that. But no, like you say, like so much stuff off screen, out of frame that we're not considering.
Right.
Right. And I'm not just talking about this movie, but like, what's another like really good one that if you like stopped and thought about it for like a second, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute,
well, let's say like Toy Story. Like why if Buzz Lightyear does not think he's a toy, why does he play dead like all the toys do when people come to the room? That never occurred to me upon multiple viewings of it. And then some asshole on the internet said that. I'm like, yeah.
But if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have that heartbreaking realization when he realizes that he's a toy. And so it's And yeah, this is movies all across the board, folks. It's the emotional impact is more important than the logic of the Jack could definitely have fit on that door.
That's so funny. I was thinking about Titanic, but not that one. But you're right. He definitely could, but he needs to die, right?
Yes. That needs to happen, right?
Right. But my thing is why does the old lady drop the heart of the ocean into the sea at the end? When like that emotionally, of course we're like, oh yes, of course it makes you go back to the bottom of the sea, right? But it's like, oh, that's awful. You could have sold it and like support your family, give it to charity, whatever.
You could have given it to a program that makes safer boats
or larger doors. Right, but no, of course it's got to be that way. It's got to be that she drops it in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, what would Jack do? Jack is a con artist. He would sell the fucking heart of the ocean.
Absolutely. If Jack were alive when she dropped it, that's when he would die because he would jump in to get it. It's like, what are you doing? That was our future Karen.
I'm sorry. I flushed it down the toilet.
Or in The Lion King, when Simba shows back up, why isn't the first thing he fucking says, hey, Scar killed my father,
No, he doesn't know that.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't know that, yeah.
Right.
But it's like, I killed Mufasa, and then it's like, murderer, tell them what happened. No, you tell them what happened. You can do it now. You got him pinned. Just say it.
Just say it.
This guy just said, Why not, in the courtroom, instead of saying your kids are like fucking heir to you, Say, but Your Honor, look, I've learned how to cook. I've learned how to clean the house. I've learned responsibilities. I've look at all of the things I was able to do. Look at how good of a parent I was under the guise of Mrs. Doubtfire. No, you're not going to say that. You're going to...
No.
Anyway.
Why not say, I am a very sick man and I need help.
Yeah.
Please stop me before I do Mrs. Doubtfire again. They've given me more resources now. I have more money. I have a makeup budget. Nothing bad has happened to me because of this. And
I have my own show.
I will do this again.
Yeah. To multiple children at the same time.
That's right.
On TV.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you don't let me do it to my children, I will do it to somebody else's children.
God. Oh. They can never. The time has passed. They can't make that movie again. They can't do a reboot.
No, I don't think you could possibly.
No. But yeah, what did we think of this minute?
Oh, just really cool. Like I've always liked it, but now looking at the just weird little details of it, and I love your idea that like this is the ending of a movie that we haven't seen the beginning of, like all these callbacks and things. That's really perfect way to put this.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see, I guess, another end, like question mark, that's coming up soon. But before that, we got another character showing up, so we got to deal with all that. But for now, folks, this has been the 84th minute of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've been Lester Ryan Clark. You can reach me in all the universes as Lester Ryan Clark.
And I've been Keenan Diaz. In your universe, I'm on Letterboxd and Instagram as Howdy Keenan.
Yeah, we got our Facebook listener group, Banana for Scale. That's a community for all of our shows, including this one. It's a private group, but just request to join and you'll be sucked into the banana. If you want more, consider joining us at truestory.fm/join and look for Banana for Scale. That's us. You get bonus episodes of all our shows, access to our Discord, and you get your episodes a week early and ad-free. Pretty cool, just $5. If you're not sure about that yet, one thing you can do that's absolutely free but would really mean all the universes to us would be to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to our show. That and sharing the show by word of mouth or on social media is going to help our little podcast grow and find more cool people like you. All right. Time to jump. Okay. You gave me an idea. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to get some tape and I'm going to tape that urn lid shut so nothing goes spilling anywhere. That is important. Why don't they make urns with like a little fastenable thing?
I don't know. I have no
Shouldn't
idea,
they?
actually. They should be fashionable somehow.
I guess that takes away from the aesthetic, but...
I mean, I understand you would want sometimes to open and look in there. I don't think people do that very often, but I understand why you'd want the option. You know?
Sure.
But, yeah, not very often. I don't think we need to go every day in there, so yeah.
Maybe like, magnetize it. You know how sometimes they do that? And it's like, so you can't see it. There's no, like, visible, like, fastening things, but, like, it's like just a really strong magnet just kind of, I don't know. Well, yeah. The ashes might collect up there, actually.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dang it.
Well, it's the last time I'm going to see this Winnebago, and everybody's dead, but I don't think anyone turns all the lights off, so I'm going to be environmentally conscious, and I'm going to shut off all the computers and turn off the lights in the Winnebago.
There you go. Yeah. Look at that. How conscientious of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and Peter kind of really like, save me. I'm like, no, I'm busy.
I'm saving the planet. Jeez. All right, Keenan, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Lo! If you're waiting for a piece of vengeance that is neat, kill my buddy Waymond here because he is a treat. Come on down and boop on your father's dude. All you have to do is get in line. Jobu Tabaki.
Yup.
Plays professional hockey.
Yup.
She's the bad guy.
Yup.
You can be a bad guy too. Whee!